Mama Ifeoma, a widow whose life was nothing but struggle since her husband's death, lived in the quiet village of Umuocha with her only son, Chinedu. Left with little more than debts and a small mud house, she learned the art of sacrifice. Every day, after selling roasted maize by the roadside, she would drop a handful of her earnings into an old clay pot hidden behind her bedroom mat. It was her secret, her way of saving her son's future. Her only child, Chinedu, a boy of 15, often wondered why his mother never bought herself new clothes or ate more than a morsel at dinner. She always said, a mother's stomach is already full when her child eats. He never questioned her much, but he noticed the tired look in her eyes. No one in the village knew about the clay pot. To them, Ifeoma was just another struggling widow, barely surviving. But to her, that clay pot represented hope, sacrifice, and a better tomorrow for her son. Each coin she dropped inside carried with it unspoken prayers. She never told Chinedu because she wanted him to live free of the weight of her sacrifices. What she didn't know was that her secret savings, hidden in plain sight, would one day be the beginning of a shocking revelation that would shake her world and change Chinedu's understanding of love forever. Chinedu was not a careless child, but his curiosity was strong. One afternoon, after helping his mother at the market, he returned home early and found her bedroom door slightly open. On the floor lay the woven mat that she always guarded closely. Beneath it, he saw the edge of an old clay pot. At first, he thought nothing of it, but as he bent down, the sound of clinking coins stirred his curiosity. Why would his mother hide money there instead of taking it to the cooperative bank like others? He gently lifted the pot. Surprised by its weight, the coins inside jingled like music to his ears. His heart raced. Could this be the reason she never bought him new shoes for school? Could this be why she ate only scraps while he had a full plate? For the first time, questions began to well in his young mind. He carefully set the pot back and covered it with the mat, pretending nothing had happened. But that night, as he lay on his raffia mat, the thought of the clay pot refused to leave his mind. It was no longer just a pot. It was a mystery he felt compelled to solve. Life in Umuocha was full of gossip, and widows were often the target. Some villagers whispered that Ifeoma was stingy, that she never borrowed money or attended lavish gatherings. Others said she was hiding something, maybe even wealth. One evening, as Chinedu fetched water at the stream, he overheard two women talking. That woman, Ifeoma, one of them said, she pretends to be poor, but she knows what she hides in that house of hers. True, the other replied, her son walks around with worn-out sandals, yet she never asks for help. Maybe she is hoarding money. Chinedu froze, the pot flashing in his mind. Could these women be right? Was his mother really hiding wealth while letting him suffer? His young heart struggled with conflicting emotions. Love for his mother and suspicion born from gossip. When he got home, he looked at her differently. He watched her eat only one piece of yam while he had three. He watched her hands shake as she counted her market sales, and he began to wonder, what exactly is in that clay pot? Days passed, but Chinedu could not fight the temptation. One afternoon, when his mother was away at the market, he sneaked into her room. He lifted the mat again and pulled out the clay pot. The weight startled him. With trembling hands, he opened it and poured out its contents. Coins of all sizes spilled onto the floor, their metallic clinks echoing through the room. Chinedu's eyes widened. There must have been years of saving inside. He stared at the coins, anger and guilt rising inside him. So Mama had all this all along, yet I walk barefoot to school, he muttered. He thought of the times he begged for exercise books, The times he was mocked for wearing torn uniform. But as he sat there, staring at the money, another thought pierced his heart. Maybe this wasn't selfishness. Maybe this was something deeper. But the sight of the money stirred something dangerous inside him, a desire to use it. Chinedu quickly gathered the coins back into the pot, but he could not unsee what he had seen. The secret was no longer hidden, and with it came the beginning of choices that would test both mother and son. Chinedu's discovery began to eat him alive. At school, his friends flaunted new shoes and crisp uniform while he wore his patched up clothes. If I could take some money, he thought, Mama won't even notice. There is plenty in that pot. One evening, when his mother was cooking outside, he slipped into her room and took a few coins. He used them to buy roasted meat and sweets for himself, a rare luxury. For the first time in years, he felt what it meant to enjoy life. But guilt struck when he returned home and saw his mother eating only plain garri soaked in water. She looked at him and smiled. Chinedu, my son, as long as you are happy, I am happy. Her words cut through him like a knife. He realized that she had been starving so that he could eat better, saving so that he could have a future. Tears pricked his eyes, but it was too late. He had already broken her trust. Trouble began when one of Chinedu's classmates noticed he had more money than usual. Soon, whispers spread that Ifeoma had been hiding wealth and denying her son comfort. The gossip reached the ears of the village elders. One night, Chinedu overheard them discussing in hushed tones outside the village square. If she is hoarding wealth, she must explain. Widows cannot cheat the community, one elder said. Chinedu's heart pounded. He realized his secret theft might expose his mother's hidden pot. If the villagers discovered it, they would demand she share the savings or accuse her of deceit. For the first time, Chinedu understood the weight of what his mother had been carrying all along, and the danger he had put her in by touching that pot. That night, guilt consumed him. He approached his mother as she sat by the firelight, mending his torn shirt. Mama, he said nervously, why do you starve yourself? Why do you save every coin? Chinedu looked up, surprised. She sighed deeply, her eyes soft but weary. My son, you are my future. Your father left us with nothing. The clay pot is not for me. It is for your education, your tomorrow. I have endured hunger so that you may have life beyond this village. Chinedu broke down in tears. He confessed he had found the clay pot and even taken money. At first, her face fell, but then she pulled him close. Now you know the truth, Chinedu. Promise me you will never waste what I have sacrificed for. The weight of her love hit him hard that any punishment could. The weight of her love hit him harder than any punishment could. But peace did not last. The villagers, fueled by gossip, stormed the farmer's house one evening. Show us the wealth you hide, they demanded. They accused her of being greedy and of deceiving the community while pretending to be poor. Ifeoma tried to explain, but they forced their way inside. Chinedu watched in horror as they uncovered the clay pot and poured its contents on the floor. Coins rolled everywhere. Gaps filled the room. Some mocked her. So you suffer your son while hoarding riches, others sneered. Tears streamed down Ifeoma's face as she clutched Chinedu's hand. This was never for me. It was for him. Every coin is a piece of my hunger, my sleepless nights, my sacrifice. But would the villagers understand? Or would they strip her of everything she had worked for? For the first time, Chinedu found his voice. He stepped forward, trembling but bold. This is not greed. This is my mother's love. Every coin is from her sweat. She denied herself food, clothes, and comfort all for me. His words silenced the crowd. He told them that he had stolen from the pot, how he had wrongly judged her, and how he now realized the depth of her sacrifice. The villagers murmured. Some lowered their heads in shame. Others whispered that such a mother was rare. Slowly, the anger faded into quiet respect. The elders, moved by Chinedu's honesty, declared, "Let no one touch this woman's savings. Her sacrifice is a lesson to us all." Ifeoma wept as her son hugged her tightly, whispering, "I will never fail you, Mama." From that day, the clay pot was no longer a secret savings jar. It became a symbol of sacrifice, known across Umuocha. Mothers told their children the story of Ifeoma's love, and Chinedu grew into a young man determined to honor her suffering. He studied harder, fueled by the weight of every coin his mother had saved. Years later, when he earned a scholarship to the city, he carried the memory of the clay pot with him. As he hugged his mother goodbye, he whispered, "Your sacrifice will never be in vain." Ifeoma watched him leave with pride, her heart full. The clay pot, once a hidden secret, had become a legacy, a reminder that true love is not loud, but quiet, consistent sacrifice. And in the end, that love changed not only their lives, but the entire village's view of what it means to give.